Hello, and welcome to another YouTube video of mine where I talk about concepts that help you go deeper into your own self. Well, I haven't created video in a very long time, but then here I am. I'm trying to be more consistent with this, and hence I'm really grateful for you being here. So thank you so much for holding the space with me, for being patient with me. Now, this week I have been talking a lot about anxiety, and I've answered quite a few questions around questions and confusion that anxious people have. So you can go check out on my LinkedIn or Instagram, where you will get your answers to certain common questions around anxiety. Today I'm going to talk about a very specific type of anxiety, which is called social anxiety. Well, I would be lying if I said that I've never felt social anxiety. To be very honest, I have felt it for a very, very long time. And it was always triggered whenever I found myself into new spaces, into new groups, whenever I met new people. That's when I felt it the most. So coming from being someone who has already felt that, I really want to share what it actually is so that it doesn't stop you from living your life. It doesn't make you feel stuck. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So let us first understand what social anxiety is. Now, social anxiety is this persistent sense of fear that you feel inside of you. And it is like it's very intense as compared to feeling nervous when you meet new people. It's a very deep rooted fear inside you. The fear of being judged, the fear of um, being humiliated, the fear of being scrutinized. Okay, so whenever you you feel that if you're someone who goes through social anxiety, you would always find yourself in the back of your mind having thoughts like, what is this person thinking about me? Am I coming across as a smart person or a foolish person? Do I look okay? Do I look out of the group, out of the place? Am I dressed okay? Um, should I stand like this or like this? All of these doubts and confusions always going on inside of your head, and there is this fear inside of you that someone is judging you. You almost feel like there is a camera on you, like there's someone noticing each and every gesture, every action, and it almost feels like people can read what's going on inside. So you try your best to pretend, and all of this is actually draining. Um, it's really really exhausting, and as a result, socially anxious people avoid meeting people, avoid groups as much as possible. Like internally they really want to avoid that interaction. They really want to avoid going to the relatives place where they know that they are going to be judged about some or the other thing. They avoid going to social events like weddings, and as a result, gradually their confidence declines because they feel like they cannot perform in a group. This fear would come up even in uh, group presentations, um, interviews, anywhere you feel like there is a report card being made about you. You would be really afraid of showing up to those places. It is not only about just group settings, but you are really afraid of being around people because the fear, the sense of being judged, the feeling of being judged, the feeling of being scrutinized, uh, creates that level of unsafety inside of you that you feel like just either like you feel like just skipping, just running away from the whole space. And you know, there is this was the part of you that shows up in the moment of fear. Now there is this another part of you as well, because and that part, basically that part loves interacting with people, loves connecting with like-minded people. So let me explain. Now there is this another part of you is the natural you. You are a human being, right? And as human beings, we do like connections. We do love feeling understood, feeling connected. And of course, that's present inside of you. So when you try to avoid these gatherings, when you try to avoid these situations, you also lose the opportunities to connect. And that makes you feel sad somewhere. It This is a common misconception that socially anxious people have, is that they're introverts. Well, the truth is introversion has nothing to do with social anxiety. You can be introvert and still stay confident. It's not like introverts are not confident in group settings. It's just they are quite comfortable in the smaller groups that they have, and they don't like it's they don't like very loud or huge number of people. But then that does not mean that they cannot show up with confidence there. It's just a preference for them. Whereas people with social anxiety, they are like terrified of being in those places. Now, even extroverts can suffer through social anxiety. Extroverts love connection, but as I said, social anxiety is about that fear, is about that intense nervousness, intense feelings that they feel of fear of being judged. So introversion has nothing to do with social anxiety. Now, where does this fear come? Where does this fear of being judged come from? Let us go through that. Let us try to understand that. This fear comes from a deep rooted insecurity, a deep rooted judgment that you have about yourself. And yes, this judgment did not come very naturally to you, it was feeded into your system. So let me explain how. These insecurities have been feeded to you through your parents, through your culture, your teachers, your peers, basically any experience in life, majorly while growing up, very early years of life, if you have been judged for something, good or bad, you are surrounded with people who have constantly judged you, who have constantly made you feel bad about yourself. That's how this insecurity has taken space inside of you. So you know how growing up, like, so I like growing up, when we meet relatives, you remember the first thing that they comment on when they see you is, they'll be like, oh, you have grown up, you have grown fat. Oh, what how much percentage did you score this year? Or um Beta, you play a lot in sun or what? You've gone so dark. You should apply besan ka lep and stuff like that. Every time you meet people, these are the first things that they notice and that they comment about. And this is how you have learned to look at yourself through through this lens. You have judged yourself. Do I look nice? Do I look fat? Oh no, अब मैं नानी के यहाँ जाऊंगा तब तो सब मुझे बोलेंगे कि तुम मोटे हो गए हो. That's the exact sort of uh, inner chatter that's going into minds of people who suffer through social anxiety. So I would like to tell you that no, it's not your fault. You have been uh, conditioned in some or the other way. And the culture is like that. To be very honest, the culture is like that. Not that I support that, but I also want you to understand that we're not here to blame anyone. This is purely about responsibility and ownership. So if you have been through body shaming, if people have commented on the way you walk, the way you talk, there are high chances that you go through social anxiety. You feel this fear of being judged, and this fear is so intense that it stops you from doing a lot of things in life, from doing things that you actually want to do, that you actually love. For example, if people have commented about how you speak, you have believed into that, and now you're afraid of public speaking. And now when your job needs you to speak publicly, even though logically you know everything, you would not be able to go to the stage because you're so stressed, because you do not accept the way you speak. So it just basically makes you feel stuck in some areas of life. And when you feel stuck, you don't feel confident. You feel as if some random force is dictating your life, right? So even I used to think that I'm an introvert, and I still think I'm an introvert. Not think, I know I'm an introvert. But I used my introversion as an excuse to avoid people, to avoid facing my social anxiety. And honestly, it costed me networks. I was really bad at networking. And I think, had I known back then what social anxiety is, what and how to get over it, I would have developed amazing networks. Because I just don't like huge groups or loud places, loud groups. I just like to be in smaller with people in my comfort zone, right? And that has nothing to do with uh, connecting with people or connecting with newer ideas. I love exploring newer ideas. I love exploring the different kinds of people that exist. That does not mean that I will always love hanging out with them. So my social anxiety has costed me uh, networking, and there was a point where I was really confused that I would enjoy, as I said, I would enjoy exploring. So whenever I was in a group setting, there would be other people, there would be different set of people, and let's say if I'm with a friend and there are two three other people there, and if my friend is having a conversation with them, and in that conversation I get to figure out about how their business is operating, or any random stuff which is new to me, I'd be like really excited. Oh wow, this is also uh, this is also what life looks like. This is also how these things work. And I would then think about, I do love having those conversations. Then why don't I do it? I know I am an introvert. So then how am I able to enjoy these conversations? There was this moment of big confusion in my head as well. But I think gradually working on myself has made me realize that both these concepts are very different. So I want you to notice how social anxiety is affecting your life, and what are your insecurities? What do you think people are judging you about? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you avoid those large groups? When you basically avoid feeling that intense feeling inside of you? What is that inner chatter, right? Because you see, it is not the connection that you hate, it is how people make you feel. You don't like how people make you feel. That feeling is something that you're avoiding. And I want you to acknowledge that feeling. And I want you to acknowledge its existence. Because once you acknowledge its existence, only then you'll be able to process what this is about. You acknowledge what judgment are you really afraid of, and then you see, and then you process. Do you really believe into that judgment? Are people making you feel this way, or your belief into their judgment is making you feel this way? Because no matter what people say, there is a very big part of you that believes into that judgment, which is why you're feeling really sad or angry or whatever emotion that you're feeling about it. Because there is a strong belief that it is true. And I want you to work on that belief. I want you to process if what people are thinking, is it absolutely true? If not, what makes you believe into that? And even if you believe into it, is it true? Do you do you want to stay into that? Do you want to change that belief about yourself? Because eventually, what you believe about yourself is what is going to dictate how you show up, right? Now, what can you do about your social anxiety? This was one way of exploring it. Now, another way of working on your social anxiety is figuring out which kind of connection do you find really valuable. So, for example, if you are a book reader, you like reading books, you might want to hang out with people who add value to your reading. You might want to connect with people who are also passionate about reading books. You can exchange ideas, you can exchange what books to read next, and you can exchange your thoughts about a particular book, and so on and so forth. If you're a sports fan, make a friend, make a group of um, people who love sports, maybe the same sport. Maybe you go out and play with them. Maybe you just discuss whatever is going on in that sport, which match is coming up, and so on and so forth. When you find uh, such people who share the same interests as you will really find it very easy to connect with them. Their Your love for for that similar thing will will be the driving force, because then this person does not view you as as a, what would you call it, this person does not view you as a person full of insecurities, but rather you both are you both are someone who love reading books, and that's what you're going to talk about. That's what you're going to connect on. So find like-minded people, figure out what your passion is, find like-minded people, and yeah, we like live we social media has made it so easy to connect with people. Let's use it into our benefit, right? There are so many book clubs, there are so many fan pages, and sports pages and whatnot, right? So figure out your passion and start connecting with those people. And as I said, the like connecting with such people will make you start feeling comfortable around people. It will just give you the right kind of environment to feel that safety, and once you feel that safety, that's when you'll be able to go inside of you. You will become more and more aware about your true self, right? So working on your insecurities would then become much easier. Okay. So um another point, like the next point that I want to make is that we cannot control what people think. We can change what we think about ourselves. And I want to share a story here. So I knew someone who stammered, right? And it would bother them a lot. Like there would be couple of words like where there would be like where it would really become difficult for them to speak those words, and everyone would make fun of them, and this person's parents would criticize them. They they did not accept this part about their kid, but rather felt a bit shameful around it, I guess. This person really struggled with their, like it shattered their confidence, and but they had this zest inside of them. I remember the kind of struggles they have gone through because of just one thing, but this one thing would show up everywhere, right? And this was their biggest insecurity. This person one day decided to not care about anyone, and they decided to love themselves no matter what, no matter who they are right now. They believed in a version of them, and they created that version of them. They believed they could work through this, and they did work through it. Accepting your insecurity doesn't mean you don't do anything about it, but the decision is yours. If you really want to, uh, so this person I'll talk about, this person worked on their speech, they worked on their insecurity, all from a place of lot of love towards themselves, all from a place of growth, not to prove it to people or their parents that see even I can speak, but they really wanted a version of them that would be able to do that. They believed into that and they worked towards it. This person went on um, participating in public speaking competitions time and again. They would work on it, and that's how their journey has been. They have really won a lot of public speaking competitions, and now I see them in meeting rooms with brands like Mintra, Cult, not as a team member, but as the leader, as an entrepreneur. This is the uh, this is a level you can achieve once you start believing into yourself. This is what, this is where you can also get once you let go of your insecurities, once you work on your identity. It is going to change your life. So it is not people that you're really avoiding, it is your own truth that you're avoiding, that is holding you back. This is what I wanted to share around social anxiety. I really, really wish that you all take a step towards, working on this, because I really believe into the beautiful things that life has to offer to you once you let go of these fears. All your desires can come true only when you believe into it. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.